Hey everyone, it's Wes, and I'm going to show you guys what I wish I knew before starting nursing school prereqs. Now, I know how it feels because I struggled and I had to take remedial classes before even starting the nursing school prereqs. So, I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do to get into nursing school. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, first, why are prereqs important? Well, obviously, number one, you need to have a good GPA to get into nursing school. The C's get degrees expression does not apply when it comes to nursing school. And number two, prerequisite classes are fundamental. You need to get a good grasp of all the subjects, especially anatomy and physiology. You need to actually understand these topics because all of this stuff is going to come back when you take pharmacology or pathophysiology. Trust me, it is a great feeling when you're looking at something, you're trying to figure out what it is, and you're like, oh, I just realized because I learned that in anatomy and physiology a year ago. So you're able to pull it up and use it in your nursing courses. So now my tip number one for prereq nursing students, you need to treat your classes like they are nursing classes. I know that sounds weird, but you got to shift your mindset a little bit. Even something like the sodium potassium pump is still very important. I figured that out when I was learning about digoxin toxicity levels in pharmacology. The sodium potassium pump is a huge thing when it comes to that. Just remember that prereqs are a short-term sacrifice for long-term reward. This is the time to really hunker down and focus and understand those topics. So even though you don't feel like you're in the nursing program, you kind of are. So tip number two for my prereq nursing people is to pick the right professor or professee, something. You need to figure out because a professor can either make or break a class. I highly recommend checking out ratemyprofessor.com, and I'll leave a link right down below in the description. And it's pretty accurate. Sometimes it can be a little off if you have just a delinquent person like freaking out about something for no reason, but overall it can be pretty accurate. Also, talk to your classmates. The best source you have in college is the people right around you because they are in the thick of it. They know which classes work with other classes and which teachers are good in terms of like personal, study habits and all that stuff. So ask your classmates. One more thing is to balance your classes wisely, okay? Don't take 20 credits. Okay, that's a terrible idea. And my college actually recommended that I do not take physiology and probability and statistics at the same time. And I did because I was dumb and I wanted to get in the program faster, but it was terrible, and I thankfully made it through, but I definitely see why they were saying that. So just be smart and don't overload yourself at the cost of your grades, okay? If you need to spend an extra semester and then you can apply to the program, it's not a big deal. We really need to take our time and get good grades and really understand the information. So tip number three for y'all, and that is time management. Please do not wait until you're in the nursing program to figure out time management. Now I have other videos linked down below in the description on, some basic study skills that you can kind of pick and choose and see what works best, but I'll give you guys just a couple of basic rules that you should follow. Study every single day in small little bursts. Do not wait until the night before to study 5 hours for the test thinking that you can cram all the information right inside your brain, okay? The nursing tests are hard, okay? You got a lot of select all apply questions. Don't get me started about select all apply questions, but you need to focus on this specifically. Now, I know it sounds basic, but this is one of the easiest traps that you can fall into, and there's tons and tons of evidence showing that studying just a little bit every day is a lot better than studying all at once. You need to treat school like a part-time job. Look, if you're not working full-time hours, like 40 hours a week, you need to be studying a lot, okay? I recommend a minimum of 10 hours a week studying, just studying alone. You've got time, so use it. Now, tip number four is to study smarter and not harder. And that means active recall, flashcards. I've even seen people use AI programs, which is crazy. I don't know if that works. Maybe I'll do a video later on. But if you need a flashcard app, you can try out Anki or Quizlet.
Anki is so much better. Don't do Quizlet.
Also, here's a big one. Read your textbook before class, okay? You want to make sure that if you're going to class, that's not the first time that you're being exposed to the information. The biggest thing and what I think about in nursing school is that you're just this sponge, okay? You just want to soak up all this information when you're in nursing school. You want as much avenues to get the information in your head as possible. So rereading your notes, reading before class helps very much. Trust me, in science classes, things pick up really quick and you do not want to get behind. Tip number five, crush your science classes. These are the most important. You have anatomy, you got physiology, and microbiology. These are the big three, the triple crown. And if you get these down early, everything in nursing school is going to be so much better. Now, I made a whole video on how to get an A in anatomy physiology, linked right down below. But it makes sense, right? Nursing is focused on what? The patient, and the patient is a body, and they have physiology. You need to understand that physiology, okay? If you go in nursing school and you don't understand that, you're going to have a hard time. And finally, tip number six for my prereq people, and that is to balance your life well. Now, you want to know the number one tip to being successful and retaining information? Sleep. Exactly. It's sleep. Okay, you need to be sleeping at least 8 hours a day. Look it up anytime. I dare you. Go look up on your computer what is the most important thing, in terms of recall. They will always say sleep. Your brain literally cannot process information well if it is sleep deprived. And also try to move your body around, okay? Go to the gym, lift weights, run. I don't care what you do. Just get the blood moving because in nursing school or whenever you're focusing on prereqs, you are sitting down a lot and you're just grinding it out. It's good to kind of relax, move around, and enjoy life. With these simple tips, I promise you will get into nursing school. Now, let me know how the prereqs are going down in the comments below. Remember to study hard, study smart, and I'll see you guys next time.